and I just realized I don't have a whisk. So sorry as I'm poking around my kitchen looking for a whisk before we get going. There it is. Okay, welcome back to my kitchen. Rachel from Healing Home, and today Healing Home Recipes and healinghome.co. And today we are going to make rice Krispie squares from the cookbook Trim Healthy Mama Indulgence. Now this is the latest Trim Healthy Mama cookbook released by Trim Healthy Mama, and there's lots of amazing recipes. Because this is their cookbook and not my cookbook, which if you want to go to Amazon, you can find my cookbooks. They're called Healing Harvest cookbooks. I have a sweet stuff and a skillet meal one, but because these are not my cookbooks, Trim Healthy Indulgent is not my cookbook, it's Trim Healthy Mama's. I am not going to be giving measurements in this live. I will just be giving what I'm using, and you guys can see the final results back here. I'll post a picture after we're done cooking it, and I will also link the cookbook in case you want to go and check it out. Now I have a poll. I've never done a poll here before. We'll see if it launches. Have you ever used or have you ever heard of Max Sweets? This is what we're going to be using in the recipe, and it's backwards because I forgot to turn the camera around. I just realized that. So we're using Max Mellows from Max Sweets. What's so cool about this is that I'm going to talk about why they're so cool in a second. First, I'm going to get going with this recipe. So in my little cast iron skillet pan, I have collagen and butter, and we are going to add our marshmallows in here, and then we're going to get going talking about why this is such a cool recipe. So I am melting it first on very low heat. So if you make this recipe, do it on very low heat, and it's also going to be very sticky. The other thing that you're going to want to do if you make this recipe is you want to be constantly whisking. Otherwise, you're going to burn it. These kind of marshmallows will burn very easily. So why are these marshmallows so cool? Well, let me tell you. Okay. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comment section. I will answer them. So why are these so cool? They are completely sugar-free. They use, they're keto-friendly, paleo-friendly, diabetic-friendly. They have 0 net carbs. So what makes them sweet? What makes them sweet is that they use a combination. Ugh, I got something in there. I don't know what it was, but I got something in my pan. It uses a combination of monk fruit. I got something in my pan. Don't you hate that when that happens? Okay, so they use a combination of erythritol, which if you don't know what erythritol is, it's a sugar alcohol that gets extracted from fruits. There, I don't know why it was so hard to come up with that word, but it gets extracted from fruits and basically dried out. The process is a lot more complicated than that, but you can read about it. My simple explanation is that erythritol and xylitol is a sugar alcohol where they basically dry out the fruits. So much more complicated than that. And then you get a sugar alcohol from it. So Max Sweets in their marshmallows is using erythritol and monk fruit. And monk fruit is another fruit that's really cool to get a sweet marshmallow-like consistency. And then you will have, by the end of this recipe, if you choose to make it, you are going to have basically like a sugar-free and keto-friendly Rice Krispie bar, which I think is so cool. If you are doing Trim Healthy Mama, have you found something that substitutes for Rice Krispie bars? Tell me in the comments. There is a recipe from Homespun Eats by Hannah, Coach Hannah. She has a really amazing recipe that uses pork rinds and peanut butter, and so it has that crispy flavor or that crispy texture that Rice Krispie bars, and up until this recipe, I was kind of using that to curb my Rice Krispie cravings. So I loved Rice Krispie bars. I've always loved Rice Krispie bars. In fact, we did a Rice Krispie cake for our wedding instead of having an actual cake. So that's how much I love Rice Krispie bars. So I don't want to turn the heat on much more than this because it will burn. And I will say that if you have a pan that's not a cast iron pan, you are going to like it a lot better, because with the cast iron pan, everything is just going to be sticking a little bit differently. I'm going to take this off the burner so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. But it's getting real sticky in there. Really nice and sticky. And it does take a long time for this to melt. So we get to chat in my kitchen while I am waiting for this to melt. The only other ingredient that I'm going to need to add besides this one, which we'll talk about in a second, is a little bit of salt. We really love the Redmond real salt. I know there's a lot of people that just love the Trim Healthy Mama salt, mineral salt too, and that's fine if you prefer that. I'm just going to take a little of this and sprinkle it over the Maxmellows. And if you want to try Maxmellows, I do have an affiliate code that I'll link in the video after we're done going live. But let me tell you some other places that I have found them, because of course it's cool if you choose to use my links, but I would rather have you guys find something that works for you. So maybe going to the store works for you better. I hear rumor that you sometimes can find them at Costco. I have never successfully found them at Costco. I will tell you where I have successfully found them, and that is Walmart. That is the only place that I have found Maxmellows. Yeah, that's the only place that I've found them. So they have lots of different flavors that you can choose from. So the one in the cookbook, they recommend doing the vanilla, the classic vanilla, which is what I have here. But they have all sorts of other flavors that are on plan with Trim Healthy Mama or a keto lifestyle, or if just you're trying to cut out sugar, this is a great alternative to marshmallows. So they also have a cinnamon one, and I didn't have enough vanilla because we used our vanilla marshmallows. I got 2 bags of this one and 2 bags of this one to start. And so 2 bags of cinnamon, 2 bags of vanilla. And I used one of the vanilla bags to make resurrection rolls. And I have that recipe that's going to be posted on my blog tomorrow. So we made sourdough resurrection rolls. And even though there's for Easter, I thought we would just do it with the kids anyways, and they loved them, and we're going to do them again for Easter. If you've never done resurrection rolls, I always wanted to try them, but I never wanted to buy marshmallows because we don't have marshmallows around here. I never wanted to have marshmallows just for resurrection rolls, because then after doing a special, occasion treat, then the kids would want to eat them for a not special treat. And we do try as hard as we can not to have not to have sugar around here. We're not perfect, and I don't want to be perfect, but we do try not to have too much sweets around here. So we're getting closer to having this ready. You're going to want a pan or a baking dish of some kind, and parchment paper. Don't skip on the parchment paper. This recipe is just too sticky. So don't skip. Sorry, that's very noisy. So if you are on here, give me a wave and tell me where you're watching from. I should have said that way at the beginning. We are in Minnesota right now, and it is snowing like crazy. So we're in the middle of another snowstorm. Something that is not written in the Trim, in the Indulgence cookbook, is that I think it really helps when you spray it with something. So I am going to spray my parchment paper. That is not in the recipe, but I have found it helpful. So then my marshmallows are almost ready, which is good because I think I hear my baby up. I definitely hear my baby up. So we'll get this finished and I will go get my baby. You want the marshmallows, you don't want it almost melted, you want it completely melted. So then you are going to throw some sprouted rice crisps. They have to be sprouted. That is essential if you're going to use them with Trim Healthy Mama. And I did not find this in store. I searched high and low in store and could not find anything. And I finally ordered it online. And that's, you know, if you can't find anything, sometimes you just have to turn to online. So you're going to use an entire bag of this. You can obviously mix it in a separate bowl, or if you're like me, I like doing things easy. Well, not easy. I like doing things not messy. The least amount of mess that I can make in my kitchen, the better. So I'm going to get that all spread out, and I'm only going to be using a silicone. Hello, buddy. Well, I'm talking on a video right now. Do you want to come say hi to everybody that's on there? Okay, and then I have to put you down, okay? You understand? Okay. Westy wants to say hi. You say hi?
Hi.
Hi, everybody that's there.
Hi.
Yeah. We're going to make Rice Krispies. Is that delicious?
I will go eat them.
We're going to eat them after we're all done with the live, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you go play.
I don't want to play.
Well, then you can watch. So my marshmallows are almost ready to pour over my sprouted cereal.
I don't look at the camera.
And I can look at the camera if you want me to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are excessively sticky. I think that I've said that already. When I've made Rice Krispie bars.
Mom? Is that spicy in there?
No, it's not spicy, but it's very sticky.
Yes.
I would say this is, hey, you guys have to be quiet. I would say that this is even more sticky than normal marshmallows, which is really unfortunate because that means that it's really tough to work with. So if you make this recipe, just know that they are excessively sticky.
Mom, can I have some?
So you need,
Mommy.
these are going to taste a little bit different because I'm using the cinnamon and vanilla ones. And I can smell the vanilla right now. For those that are curious, because I was going to mention this before, what we have going over here is not a part of the recipe. It's actually lard. So I have been making, hey, later, okay? Go play. We did pigs this summer for the first time, so I have been learning how to make lard. And it's quite the process that is very easy once you know what you're doing. And I've gotten lots of questions about how do you use lard on Trim Healthy Mama? And I can't say I quite know how to yet, but I don't want to waste something that we worked so hard to get. So I'm making the lard and I'm going to start experimenting with how to successfully use it on Trim Healthy Mama. It's definitely not going to be our main oil because lard can just be so, it's a really good fat, but it's not weight loss friendly, and it can be dangerous if you have too much of it. So stay tuned if you have lard and you're curious how to use it successfully on Trim Healthy Mama. I know there's a lot of people that do. All right, I'm going to show you what this looks like. I definitely hear the baby. So I'm sorry if that bothers you, but he's fine. Can you move, buddy? So you're going to want your marshmallows completely melted like so. And the cast iron pan is very hot. Just FYI. And I think we can see this. Yep, okay. So you guys can see this. We have the sprouted rice cereal, which is definitely a healthier version of cereal than you would get if you were using the normal Rice Krispies. Yes, you're lovely, aren't you? And we're going to just pour this gently over everything. And at this point, you're going to have to start working really fast because it dries. I shouldn't say dries. It hardens very fast. So we're going to try to evenly pour it. And no, don't touch, you guys. Can you move, please? Can you move, please?
I want to taste it.
Can you move, please?
Why?
Because do you see the camera going?
Oh.
There's people watching. So evenly get it spread out. That way you have to do less work when you are mixing it. Don't touch. It's going to be hot, dude. It's going to be hot. So I definitely can smell the cinnamon right now. I'll be interested to see how it tastes with cinnamon. And then, are you guys excited about this?
Mom, I want to taste them.
You will. And then you're just going to start gently mixing. And like I said, you're going to want to go as fast as you can because it does harden very, hey, let's not stick our hands in this, okay? Let's not stick our hands in it. Once we're all done, I will give you guys some. So it does harden really fast. Hey, excuse me, I expect that you're going to listen right now, okay? Real Parenting 101. It hardens very fast, so you're going to want to try to be kind of speedy at this point with getting everything mixed. And once everything's mixed and once everything sets, I will come and take a picture of it and share with you guys on Instagram stories and right here on Facebook stories. So you guys can come back and check out what it looks like. If you have questions about this recipe or you want any of the links, I will put all the links in the description of this video. And we are going to be doing more live videos with Healing Home either on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. And I'll start doing more of a schedule. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you guys next week when I do the next video.